Hey everyone, it's Kristin Graziano, and I'm here to give you a real estate market update. It is January of 2022, and so I'm going to just share some data we've been collecting so that we can share with you what our thoughts are, where the real estate market is headed for 2022. So when we look back and we go year over year, looking at the appreciation, for the 30th straight month, Phoenix has topped the US in highest appreciating cities, and that's at 32% year over year. So that's a really good amount of appreciation. When we look at the monthly appreciation rate, Phoenix has actually dropped in their ranking. But again, when we go back to the year over year appreciation for the 30th straight month, we are at the top of that list. Now, of course, we are seeing a tremendous amount of people moving to the Phoenix area. This is totally contributing to our growth, our appreciation rates, and of course, like our supply and demand. We have huge demand, and our supply is like, whoo, it's going down. So what that looks like, a few things to consider. So our unemployment numbers in the Phoenix area were totally recovered. So we're at pre-pandemic numbers, which were really good. So employment is not an issue here. In fact, there's a lot of employers moving here and a lot of big employment centers that are opening here. So we have a huge amount of inbound people moving here. We used to be a retirement destination, and actually what's happening is we're less and less of a retirement destination, and we're seeing more people move here for their jobs that are the working people as opposed to retired people. So another thing I want to touch on that I think is really important when we look at our market. Most of you know we follow the Cromford Market Index, and there's a few other analysts we follow. A lot of them are pretty much in alignment with what they feel about our market going forward based on the data that they track. And one thing that I think, a piece of data I don't think I have shared yet, is we in Phoenix, in the Phoenix area, have to adjust what we consider normal. So a lot of times we say, well, when the market's normal, or, and one example I'll give you. So right now, 40% of all offers made are over asking, and the median amount over asking is $10,000. So what we were saying is, well, in a normal market, that's more like 18% or whatever that number is. But what we're learning is that Phoenix, if we go back 21 years since a lot of the data has been collected electronically, over the last 20 years, we have spent 3.6 years in a buyer's market. I think we all remember those days. If we're old enough to, those were some really rough years, but 3.6 years in a buyer's market. We have spent 4.6 years in what's called a normal market, and 13 of the last 21 years have been a seller's market. What this means is that in the Phoenix area, what's actually normal is a seller's market, but what's not normal is the insane seller's market, which is what we're experiencing right now. So from 2015 to 2019, we were in a mild seller's market. So it was a seller's market. Prices were appreciating. There was a lot of competition for properties, but we weren't seeing tons of offers, the huge amount over asking, things like that. We were not experiencing like we are now. So we're actually in like super, super far into the seller's market territory right now. And then another thing I'd like to share, so most of you know I follow the Cromford Market Index, which I've mentioned, the Cromford Market data that we follow. And the Cromford Market Index, it is an indicator of where prices are likely headed in the next, say, 3 to 6 months. And this leading indicator has been pretty accurate for the 21 years it's been in existence. So when the Cromford Market Index is under 100, we are in a buyer's market. If it's at 100, then homes are appreciating in the valley at the rate of inflation. And as we know, inflation is higher right now. And so if we're at 100, that would mean we're appreciating with inflation, which right now I believe is around 6%. And then if the Cromford Market Index is over 110, it's considered to be a strong seller's market. So today, I just pulled it up, we are currently at 467. That's like so far in the seller market territory, it's just incredible. So the only other time we have been at or over 467 was last year. So we entered that point around or at January 16th of 2021. We fell below that point last year on May 9th of 2021. We still remained really strongly in a seller's market. We did dip, quite a bit from the peak. We peaked at 514 on March 3rd last year, but now we're starting to see we're headed back into that territory. What that means and what we're seeing is that coming into January of 2022 this year, our supply levels were less than they were 1 year ago coming into January of 2021. And what that means is that we're still continuing to see a lot of the same trends we saw last year. We will probably do a rinse and repeat of a year ago. And I don't know that that's sustainable to do for the entire year of 2022 because we saw some really steep appreciation. From January of 2021 to June of 2021, we saw an average of over 3% appreciation per month. There were 2 months in there, and I believe it was March and April, but there were 2 months in there where we saw over 4% appreciation in 1 month. That's a huge amount of appreciation. So now that we're in January, we are seeing that we're likely going to trend that way for the first few months. The spring in Phoenix is usually a really hot selling season, and I can say that last weekend, our whole team, we were all out showing buyers. We were all out there writing offers, and we were just like running from showing to showing. And the inventory, we're not seeing a whole lot of new inventory come on. So we've got a lot of buyers competing for a very small piece of the pie. So if you're someone who's thinking of buying, I will tell you this. Every buyer we've had in this insane market has purchased a home. Every single one of them. The only ones that haven't bought are buyers who are like on the fence, maybe I'll buy, I'm not really sure. But every buyer who made a commitment to purchase a home purchased a home. And I'm talking, we had some 100% VA buyers, like with no down payment. We had buyers with very low down payments. We had buyers who had lenders that a lot of other agents don't really love. All of that worked out for us last year. But we are very persistent, and a lot of buyers out there have what's called buyer's fatigue, and a lot of agents also have it. That means they're making offer after offer after offer that's not getting accepted. And that's happened to some of our buyers. So it is, I'm not going to tell you that it's easy. It is a little bit challenging out there, but we definitely have a mindset that we're going to get it done, and we definitely get it done every time. So if you're looking to get more information about the market, let us know. We love to share the data. We have a lot more than we shared today, but it's really fun for us, and we definitely have our pulse on the market. We are very active in this market. We have a lot of clients we're working with, and it allows us as a team. We're all out there experiencing this market. And so, for example, when I mentioned that last weekend was kind of crazy, it wasn't like that the weekends before. So that's where we're feeling the market shift. We're feeling a lot more buyers in the market. We're feeling a lot more momentum happening, and definitely the pinch. I will give an example. I showed a house last Friday, and the asking on it was $750,000. It was a beautiful home. The inside was renovated nicely. The backyard was absolutely to die for. When I pulled the comps in the subdivision, there wasn't anything that had sold close to that. When I pulled comps just outside the subdivision, I had a couple of comparable properties, but not a lot. I told my client I thought that home would probably sell $800,000 to $850,000, and that would be high for that neighborhood, but the home was gorgeous. The backyard was gorgeous. It's definitely the kind of property that would set a new high bar when it comes to price. So our client, they put in an offer, and when we heard back, they had something like 26 offers, the sellers did, and it ended up selling for $910,000 to a cash buyer. So it is very competitive out there. Just because that happened there does not mean that a buyer can't get a property accepted. That same exact day, we had a buyer get a property accepted. It was the first property they made an offer on, and that seller had offers for about, I think it was $20,000 over our offer price. But those sellers, it had been their family home since it was built in the 50s, and they really, really wanted a homeowner who was going to live there to purchase the property. So that seller was willing to sacrifice $20,000 of profit on that house so that they could have a family move in. So I'm going to tell you, don't get discouraged. Anything can happen, but it can be a little bit tough out there. So if you have any questions about the market, let us know. We would love to share any more information with you, and hope everyone's doing well. Have a great day.